waiting for this. It's time to trap men. This is the X Fan Show. New episode, a brand new flow. Arlington and Spurs were on the verge. Got a new topic to burn. The mics are hot and it takes up all the stories of told. No lies are told from the English floor to the digital screen. We're breaking down a game that don't be seen. Yeah, the X Fan. The X Fan.
What's up, everybody? The experience is beginning. You know me. I am Spurge. This is a late night edition of the X Fan Show. Arlington might join us tonight. Arlington is pulling uncle duty. You know how it is. You know, I like doing these random off-the-wall things. So you might see me a couple times this week. You never know. But tonight on the late night edition of the X Fan Show, we have a very special guest. You know it. You've heard about us talking about it. The Continental Football League. We're talking the league for the fans, by the fans, the People's League, all of that good stuff. And we are joined tonight, which let me get this right before I bring the man on. But originally he was their defensive coordinator. Now he is named their assistant interim head coach or something like that, or he's the assistant head coach and he's the interim coach right now. The one and only Mr. Coach James Champagne. Thank you for joining me on a late night here on a Tuesday evening, or is it Wednesday?
Wednesday, yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
How are you, sir? And how are you doing, first and foremost, after all the holidays?
Oh, I'm good. Holidays was calm. Cooked, stayed home, had my son in town with my wife, and I'm good. Another week down.
Another week down and another week closer to kickoff.
Yes, sir.
For the Continental Football League.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Quincy, the owner of the Texas Syndicate, released today the statement announcing you as the interim head coach. You were originally the defensive coordinator, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then thoughts and prayers go out to Coach Coleman and his family. This very, very tough time. Mm-hmm. But let's go to where we are now. So you're announced as the D coordinator.
Yes, sir.
You talked to Coach Coach Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
How did that conversation go, first and foremost?
Oh, when I came on as defensive coordinator,
mm-hmm.
It went well. It seemed natural to me. I think Coach Coleman would say the same thing. He's versatile, obviously, right? But he's a head coach that is real familiar with defense and things like that. He asked me some things that I do. It coincides with things that he likes to do from a front standpoint to the type of coverages we'll do to the type of, most importantly, the rules and principles and alignments that we'll do. So it's not all 100% the same, but it's good to have a head coach where a lot of the tendencies and the way we approach things is similar. So that's good for us, for our relationship, but that's good for our team. That's good for our community and our league.
Yeah, exactly. See, Coach, this is why I love doing live shows, because Mr. X, whatever his name is here, he just likes to tell me to some explicit language. I love it. I mean, Coach, how do you deal with the negativity? That's what I want to know, because I guess he's talking to me to say shut the up, and I don't really shut up. That's my show. I don't have to shut up. But how do you deal with the kind of negativity? Because I just blow it off. That's how I do it.
Block out the noise. That's one of my slogans or mindsets and mentalities. Just for anything, I tell all players that because I'm a performance coach too, in my day job at a gym. So I'm dealing with actually coaching football, but when I'm a performance coach, I'm dealing with all type of athletes, all type of people that's looking to get in shape, stay in shape. So Got to block out the noise as best as possible.
Well, that's what I say all the time. And, just idiots are idiots, coach, and you got to love them. I mean,
hmm
I've had a change of thought. Jesus says love everyone regardless of what they do to you. So I just love everybody now. There's no point
Right.
in hating people anymore in this world. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Right.
All right. So, coach, you have the talk. Like, what was the talk like with Quincy when you got the job? Because a lot of people would say, with the experience that you have is, doing some college ball, right?
Yes, sir. So I was a intern strength and conditioning coach for UCLA's football team the summer of 2022. And then I have some minor league experience with the Huntsville Rockets. I just did that stint this past summer. Huntsville Rockets, that used to be the Alabama Beavers. So kind of a similar thing. I was hired on to be defensive coordinator early on, and when we're Alabama Beavers, and leadership things happen, and we merged to the Huntsville Rockets, and I became the head coach, and we were the last team standing in our league. So try my mindset is try to turn negatives into positives. You're not gonna be perfect with that, but the best way to say it is turn lemons into lemonades, turn some lemons into lemonades. You do that, you're doing some good stuff.
See, I love that because that's kind of what me and Arlington have done these whole years together with this show. Is we, unlike our friend here who, told me to shut the F up. I mean, we've had that a lot in our career, and we've used that just to keep pushing forward, right?
Yep.
It's so I like that. Now let's go to the Alabama Beavers
Okay. Yes,
because they
sir.
were originally supposed to play in another league
Correct. Yes, sir.
that got defunct.
Yes.
The IFA. Nothing against the IFA. I have
Right.
nothing but good things to say about Jason Adams that I
hmm
think just the way they ran it was a little piss poor in my opinion.
Yeah. They had good plans and good things beforehand, right? I know for me personally with the Alabama Beavers, I think it was maybe about 15 months before our original report date for the season. I knew that I was going to be the defensive coordinator. So they were kind of ahead of the game with that piece, right? But as we got closer to the report date and the league starting up, a lot of things happened, but with Alabama Beavers, but with other teams as well, and just the league as a whole. But I'm just grateful that we were able to stay the course because for our situation, we had guys that still came from out of town. We had local guys that were a part of it. Same thing with coaches, and it was a dogfight mentally, right? But once we found our situation and we merged into the Huntsville Rockets as far as a main piece and finding a league in that Alabama, Tennessee area, again, turn some lemons into lemonade. You won't turn them all into lemonade, but you turn some. Um, that's a win, and that's what I'm about. Just as a coach and just as a human, try to lead things better than what you find it. Don't shy away from the first no. Don't let that first no shut you down. Find your way.
Exactly. Exactly. So you get out of the IFA in the defunct league.
Yes, sir.
And now there's this new league, the Continental Football League.
hmm
Like I said, me and Arlington are behind this. We've gotten fans behind it.
Yeah.
Manny and Commissioner Kelly,
Yeah.
Quincy, the Toro guys, they're all doing a great job on getting this up and going.
Yeah.
You as a coach, already being in that one defunct league, right?
hmm
When that call came from Quincy to you, what was going through your head at that time? Going, or is it that you just trusted after you heard the vision? What was going through Coach Champagne's mind?
I mean, honestly, you're always gonna have it in the back of your mind of experiences because experience is the greatest teacher, right? But that's where you gotta try to do your homework. A, you gotta do your homework on your own, and B, you gotta take the shot. You gotta take the shot. You're not gonna know unless you take the shot. But with that experience, have awareness, right? Did some research on Mr. Quincy. Did some research on the league itself. A little bit of the history from the league in the past when it was back around in the mid '60s as well. Um, Also, do research on the Toros things as well. So to see that we have about 4 to 5 teams already locked in, um, that's huge. And for me personally, I was this past weekend we had our tryouts, and the confirmations was just showing everywhere we went. Even our Austin tryout and as well as the San Antonio tryout, we had representation from the West Texas team, the Toros, obviously, and then us as the Texas Syndicate. So that was good. Grateful, grateful to be here. Grateful to
Well, I
be
was
here.
supposed to be down for the Austin, Texas thing, the
Mhm.
meet and greet, and ends up we got 4.5 inches of snow
Oof.
into Friday, into Saturday all day.
Mhm.
So I was like, well, I guess I'm stuck here in St. Louis. I can't go anywhere,
Ah.
Like right now, it's 16 degrees outside.
Oh man. You're
Yeah.
kidding.
No, it's cold. It's miserable. I
Yep.
mean, that's why I weigh 230 pounds because I got to have some insulation because it's
Ah.
so damn cold outside. Beside the point, you guys. So now you get the call from Quincy, and I think it probably might. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, Coach, but you're an Army vet, correct?
Yes, sir. So I did 7.5 years in the United States Army. I retired as a E6 staff sergeant. I did human resources, so I was personnel and admin in the Army. Um, did most of my time in Fort Stewart, Georgia. Did some overseas rotations in Poland, Germany, 2016, 2015, 3 countries in Europe. Did a stint in Korea in 2018 under Fort Stewart, Georgia, and then I finished my last 2.5 years in San Antonio for Fort Sam Houston. So I worked for Army South, the southern component of the Army. So that's a little brief backstory of my Army career without going
Now,
into much detail.
could that have had something because the owner of your team is an Army vet also?
He is.
So could that have connection of why you chose the San Antonio or the Texas Syndicate because of Quincy, and you already kind of know what his background is from being the way that you are being an Army vet? Could that have helped?
Well, the initial for me was after the Alabama experience and things not going well with the initial league and the administration and front office or whatever the case may be, from the field standpoint, I felt like we accomplished the mission and it was a lot of good that can happen if guys and staff members ever take a shot with something else that they pursue. When I came back to San Antonio, I was like, you know what? Probably not gonna do the professional thing, for a while. And I just kept seeing Texas Syndicate on social media. I saw some Toro stuff a little bit as well. Saw the Continental League, and I said, "Man, take the shot, man," and send a message. First time I sent the message, I didn't get anything back. So again, what was one of the first things I told you? Well, I don't take the first no, right?
Right.
So and less than 2 days later, I messaged again. Mr. Workman said, "Call him." And then I don't even think the Army thing was the first thing we said to each other. It was the first day, but it was like the middle of the conversation, and I'm glad about that because I never want to utilize something that you have in common with something to try and
Right.
connect them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If it's gonna organically happen, go for it. But I don't want him hiring me because I was Army. And once the Army dialogue started to talk, we started to talk about it. You could just tell. You can ask him, but I believe Mr. Workman didn't. The Army wasn't the reason why he hired me. He appreciates what I did in the Army. We do have that connection and dialogue, but you never want that to be the magnet that keeps things going, right? You want
Right. Yeah.
you just want how you are. You want how you model your life, how you model your words, your mentality, your actions, um, adapting and responding in circumstance, right? So Yeah.
Right. And see, and I think that's what it is with Quincy, because he's taken the leap here
Mhm.
to get this football team off the ground and into the Continental Football League. So that
Yes, sir.
mentality of that military mentality that he has.
Mhm.
And like you're saying, I got to turn lemons into lemonade.
Yes,
And
sir.
that's that military
It is.
mentality that you have. So like
Mhm.
I would see it as you guys have that same mentality and you guys can see the common goal just because of just that mentality of what you
And
guys
it's
have.
and, and
Am I
that's and
am
that's
I
what it is. No, you're
okay?
spot on because it's the common goal, right? It's the common expectation at the end of the day. We understand that things aren't going to be perfect. You can write a script, you can have a plan, you can have a monthly battle rhythm, like they used to call it in the army, a calendar X amount of months out, and everything's not going to go as planned on that piece of paper. Even with a game day script, right? You have a game day script. Um, Sometimes you're going to have to adapt in the moment. So that that common expectation is that's all we see. That's all we see. We're aware of the things that are around us, but we block out the noise. We block out the noise at the end of the day. Uh, that's something that's going to be about. That's going to be our culture here at the Texas Syndicate. Something I would tell my Alabama guys, and even when I was a intern strength coach at UCLA, or even at the school level, in Texas, I've coached high school and middle school as well. Those grade levels consistently since 2021. Control what you can control. Control what you can control. It sucks a lot of times. And when you're speaking to the players or you're speaking to the staff, when you're saying this stuff, you're actually talking to yourself as well because we're human, right? But you just got to control what you can control
See,
because you got to go get that target.
yeah, see, I love that because a few a few years ago, my best friend died of ALS,
Okay.
and
Yes, sir.
right
Talk to
before
them.
before I go any further, thank you for your service. I do appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank
It's guys like you that let me do dumb stuff like this.
you.
So thank you for your service. I do appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
But it was talking to him like right before he quit talking.
Mhm.
And the one thing that'll always stick out to me, he's sitting in the wheelchair, his breathing is getting slower, his speech is getting slurred. And he goes, one thing he goes, something I wish I could do again. I'm like, what's that? He's like, I wish I could walk the beach, hold my wife's hand, and kiss her.
Mhm.
And I'm like, damn, that was really profound
Yep.
that he said that. And he's like,
Mhm.
I just was tired of taking life for granted. He goes, I wish I would have appreciated it more. And by what you saying, it sucks. You can only control what you can control. Try to explain that because
I
how do you
can.
explain that to a high school, middle school, college player, these guys you are training? How can you explain that to somebody who hasn't really had those life experiences yet?
And that's the hard thing, right? When you haven't experienced tragedy or circumstance or challenge, it's hard for them to when you're explaining it and when you're doing it, everybody responds differently, right? The standard is the standard, the expectation is the expectation. But I could probably get on you in a loud tone in front of everybody to send a message. Whereas another person on our staff or team or whatever the case may be, uh, I got to get to them like ear to ear, you know what I'm saying? And still articulate the same way, still have the same sternness, still have the same message and intent, but just the tone might be different. For Alabama, we had about 9 guys that stayed that were out of town. Well, we started off probably with about 7 that were out of town guys. By the time we ended the season, when we switched over to the Huntsville Rockets, won the national championship in the Gridiron Development of Football League, they had probably about 12, 11 to 13 guys. And some of them were staying in Airbnb, some of them were staying in hotels. Sometimes every week things change as far as the living conditions or it's delayed. And it was hard for those guys. You're talking about grown men that are in their mid 20s. You talk about a few young guys that are in their early 20s. Um, they had to make a choice. Life's about choices. They didn't enjoy staying through that suck. They didn't enjoy staying through that unsurety. Um, helping each other out, with finances or food and things of that nature. For me, when I was up there, I was grateful to still do my coaching stuff, but I was still working at the gym job up there because the company that I work for, gym wise, is all over. But I say all that to say you got to stay consistent with your message, and you can't be afraid to be tough love with them. It's kind of a mixture of being tough love and it might look like you don't care, but still being organic and empathizing as well. Empathy doesn't mean soft spoken all the time, or empathy doesn't mean that you have to show emotion. It might come a time and a place where y'all have to be vulnerable. And even me, I would share a vulnerable story or a moment with that particular player based off of that particular situation. But this other gentleman, hey man, I hear what you're saying, but we gotta block out the noise. Like it's either we go home and this is all a waste because we're already here in July and we already been here for 2 months, or we're gonna finish this bad boy out until August or September to be the last team standing. Life's about choices, and some people stay and some people don't. You just got to
See,
accept that.
see, I love that because it's just like, okay, every day is a new day.
It is.
You never know what's going to happen.
It is. So, in college, my speech teacher, my public speaking teacher, instructor or professor in college, he'd always tell us, I used to think every day is a different day, right? And that's true, but everything is just a moment.
Yeah.
Everything is just a moment. This conversation we having right now is a moment. The
Yep.
introduction to this conversation was a different moment. The
Hmm.
category about the Army stuff was a different moment. So good, bad, indifferent, outstanding, terrible, everything is just a moment. And hey, you gotta
When
you
you
gotta
can't
deal
get the
with it.
moment back, you just
Can't.
got to create the new moment.
That's it. That's it. How you gonna respond when the moment or the circumstance tries to tell you no? You're not gonna get them all, but how you gonna adapt and adjust
All right. Well,
without
let's go
settling
back
and
to
overcoming?
right. Let's go back to this then. You're in the IFA.
Hmm.
That gets defunct. You
Yep.
guys take your Alabama Beavers, turn it into the Huntsville Rockets.
Yes, sir.
How do you explain to these guys going, okay, guys, we were originally supposed to do this,
It wasn't easy at all.
but again, now we gotta go this way. Like,
Yeah,
how did you break that down for them?
it wasn't easy, right? So, while still respecting people that were all a part of it, the as a coach, you try to control what you can control, right? You don't make those decisions, but you're not gonna sell a story to your players as well, right? So that's one thing those guys can say about me. Ownership or administration might have tried to explain it one way, right? And in every detail that they said, either may have not been true or it was the delay or the timeline wasn't true, right? Whereas for me, I tried to tell the players what I know and tell the players flat out when I didn't know a detail. Details that I knew. Hey, FYI, we're not doing the IFA no more. Hey, FYI, we're not doing the Beavers anymore. We have to merge with this local team called the Huntsville Rockets. Well, coach, are we still gonna, is everything that was promised to us still gonna happen? I don't know that answer. I'm not gonna be the coach or the human to play the game and say the book answer is like as I would like to call it, or the popular answer. I'm not. If I don't know that, if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know the answer, and I'm gonna tell you, hey, I can find out the answer. I can try and find out the answer. So I feel with those guys, most of them, if not all of them, would tell you, hey man, he was demanding, but he shot it straight. Meaning, if he didn't know, he didn't know. If he knew, he knew. He knew. Coach Champagne knew whatever he told us, he knew. If he didn't know something, he would tell us that he didn't know. Notice I didn't say that I wouldn't tell them. I would tell them that I didn't. Hey, this is the parts that I don't know. If that makes sense. I don't know if that
Yeah.
answered the question or not, but yeah.
Yeah. See, now I'm kind of seeing why Quincy has named you is interim head coach
Mhm.
by the philosophy that you have. You know, you're like,
Yes.
hey, we can't control anything. All we can control is the next moment in front of us. The next moment
Right.
in front of us.
Right. And with that too, not to add, you still acknowledge what they're saying. You
Right.
still gotta
Yeah.
acknowledge what they're saying. Hey, look, man, I hear what you're saying. I know you're um tired of moving to a different Airbnb every week, but hey, I'll make the call to the ownership or the people that are in charge of the living condition. But I can't promise you that they're gonna change it, man, or I can't promise you that it's gonna expedite it. But I'm not gonna blow you off and just tell you to block out the noise, but not hear what you're saying. And I'm also not gonna blow you off or disrespect you and not try to engage in it. You know what I'm saying? Like engage in it with the leadership. So yeah, I
See,
push, but I can't always get results. But sometimes those guys just want to see you push. And for me, that's why I think, in my opinion, that's a reason why guys or people in general will do what's needed towards a mission, even though that mission might suck or the vision of that mission becomes blurry. You know, same energy I give you when I'm chewing you out is the same energy I'm gonna give you when you're doing something outstanding, which is the same energy I'm gonna give you when I try to reach out for questions or clarifying questions. Might not get the answers you want, might not get an answer at all, but I'm gonna do that effort to pursue it.
well, and I've seen some of your training stuff where you got these kids, they're basically running through a wall for you by the
Yes, sir.
things that I'm guessing by the things that you're saying them and the philosophy that you have.
Yeah, yes, and you can't please everybody, right? I think coaching kids probably with all with all the levels from 6A varsity, from varsity defensive coordinator, from 6 man, from semi-pro for 8 man, from 3 times being a middle school head coach to my internship in UCLA, right? Probably the kids have taught me the most. You can't please everybody. You can't
Right.
please all the parents. You can't please all the kids. That's why I said you can't turn all lemons into lemonade. You can only turn some. So if you have 11 developmental people or kids on your team that are not there, if you get four, if you get 3 to 5 of them, that's a win. But um, yeah, I try to, and then I demonstrate. I try to get out there with them. So for me, if you go back to probably well, you've seen it, like you said, I wear cleats. I wear cleats to
Yeah.
practice, but I do that for the games too, and I'm comfortable in it. I've probably been wearing. I started coaching in 2019. I started coaching in cleats on game day and practice 2021 for sure by 2021. Um, when it's cold, football gloves, instead of the regular winter gloves. Matter of fact, I had a seventh grade team yesterday. We're doing this local FBU for seventh grade in San Antonio. They asked me to coach with them, and it's about 40 degrees outside. It's nighttime because it's 7 o'clock, so the sun's down because of how we are this time of year, and defense is going first. I'm doing offense for this particular team, and our quarterback. Hey, look, man, I'm gonna get your arm warm. I'm doing the pat and go for him. I'm being his receiver. Or I'm running some of the routes, but then some of the times I'm standing in the window of where he's gonna throw it at. And somebody's got to do it, man. So it hurts sometimes, but people respect what you do, not what you say. In my opinion, that's
See,
probably from childhood, but yeah.
and I love that in the way it's just the way that you're saying it all because like I was literally having a conversation with the wife before the interview, right?
Hmm.
And I'm like, I told her, I'm like, what if every night when we go to sleep, we die? And then
Hmm.
we wake up the next day because it's a new morning and we were
Hmm.
born anew because it's a new day.
Hmm.
And she sat there and she's like, well, that's the dumbest thing I have ever heard. But I go, think about it. We go to sleep. We don't know if we're really asleep or if we're really
Right.
awake or
Hmm.
anything. We don't know anything. And
Right.
then we just know we wake up the next morning
Hmm.
and now it's a whole new day. That day I can't get back. I like the philosophy that you had. So, like, let's get to how you developed that philosophy. Because you go from the army, you go from the UCLA, you go from college, all of that stuff. Like,
Yes.
how did all of that, the way that you think and the way that you decided you were going to coach, like putting the gloves on and cleats on?
Yeah.
How many coaches do you see do that? Like,
Yeah.
how did you develop this philosophy? Like, I'm going to start calling it the coach champagne philosophy.
It was by experience, but it's by sometimes it was disappointments in those experiences, right? So my army career, right? I did 7.5 years. I medical retired as a E6 staff sergeant. But many don't remember, or many don't are not aware that I had a situation, got caught in the wrong place, wrong time with some things, and I had to take a demotion, right? I had to take a demotion, but I not only did I receive all my rank back, about a year, literally 365 days to the date I got demoted, and I know that date because it's my mom's birthday. Not only did I get all my rank back, but I got laterally promoted to corporal. Anybody that's in the army knows that they don't just throw that rank around. So it's a regular enlisted soldier that is basically promoted to sergeant or supervisor duties
Hmm.
without the pay quite yet because maybe you're missing the leadership school, maybe you're missing the promotable status. So I ended up getting that lateral promotion before I received all that. So I cater that army situation to overcoming tragedy. How you gonna respond when the world tells you no? From a coaching standpoint, before I had to make a decision about the internship at UCLA. My first school job, I was a receptionist at a charter school here in San Antonio, for a middle school. And about 6 months into that, I did middle school flag football, and we were the first sport team at that charter school for fifth through ninth graders to win the league championship, and it was for flag football. It was the fifth and sixth graders. By the time December and January hit, I ended up being the charter school's athletic director. And this is without experience, this is without credentials, technically. Still was finishing my college stuff. Did that. Busted my butt to do all that. And at the end of the school year, hey, look, I got this opportunity to go do an internship for the summer. Is it okay if I do it? I was allowed to do it. But in the middle of that internship at UCLA, that school was going through some budget cuts, and I was one of the ones that they had to relieve. So they did it. So taking a shot, right? If
Yep.
I if I don't take the shot to UCLA and I stay, yes, I become an athletic director for a second year, but that school is no longer in business. I took the shot to UCLA. I had to get laid off, but that's when I was able to increase going to college even more, right? But
Hmm.
still have that strength and conditioning internship. It wasn't a football coach or student assistant internship. It was a strength and conditioning one. Um, so with that, right? Um, what else? With anything that I've been a part of, the school, like I told you, I started off at the schools as the school receptionist at that charter school. I ended up that school year as the athletic director, right, for all of the sports. Um, there's 2023. Since 2023, I coached school ball 2021. 2022, I didn't because I had the UCLA internship. I could have, but I didn't when I came back. Since 2023, I've coached school ball. I literally varsity defensive coordinator for six man. Didn't have any varsity experience before, technically, right? But I took my youth coaching experience. I took my internship from UCLA. I took what I knew when I played, things of that nature, and turned lemons into lemonade. That got me to a 6A defensive back varsity coach position in 2024. And then 2025 that that just passed this past season. As soon as I came back from Alabama, finishing with the Huntsville Rockets as national champs in our league, I had a middle school head coach job waiting for me, all in the private school or charter school sector. So though that has created the mentality of the expectation, and that's a part of it. Six values I try to live by in life, not just coach, is the three E's and the three T's: energy, effort, and execute. Together, tempo, tough, mental and physical. And anybody that's coached with me or trained or played for me or whatever you want to call it, they know that like it's those six values is what it's about. So
See,
yeah,
I'm getting goosebumps because
it's
this
real
is
though. Hey, that's I'm
well,
telling you, it's like that all the time, man. That's
yeah. Here's what I love about this league.
yeah.
And this is what one thing I like about just this league as a whole, right?
Mhm.
Is that they're giving people the opportunities.
They are.
I mean, if people weren't listening, you heard this man's story, how he got to where he is now is I mean, well, basically, let's just say you're going to be the head coach this year. How much before I go any how much input will Coach Coleman have? Or is he just kind of said to you, you're the coach for this year, and I'll see where I'm at.
Well, Coach Coleman still has input, right?
Okay.
So for me, I obviously we continue mission with things, right? But not only for professional courtesy, it's just that's just how it's brought up, right? Anything that
Okay.
goes to Mr. Workman and Mr. Ned, our GM, Coach Coleman is on that email, right? Or he's on that presentation. Does he does he always respond back or comment back in a timely manner? No, not necessarily. That could be because he's handling his personal situation. B, that could be because he has full confidence and he knows how I am, since we've had multiple conversations since getting hired on originally as a DC. And C, it could be all the above. So um it takes all of us at the end of the day. It takes all of us to get towards the expectation. We don't do goals, we do expectations. And our expectation is to be the last team standing, through this league, right? But until that moment happens, we take care of these moments that's in the prepping phase, right? We killed our two tryouts that we just had. We start plan our calendar for the next events, at the first of the year, the ones that are in person and the ones that are virtually, and we start building relationships with the players that we are interested in, as well as the staff members. So, Coach Coleman, I believe if he didn't trust me, he wouldn't have signed off on a decision. And I think shout out to this front office where they're a unified front. From Mr. Workman to my GM, Mr. Ned, to our head coach, Coach Coleman. So it's all something I tell my teams, regardless of what age they are or what grade level, college, even in Alabama. Hey, it's not about me; it's about we. So we're a we over me mentality. I didn't really have to sell that here. It's just Mr. Workman and Mr. Ned and Coach Coleman. They say it and do it in their own way, and I do it and say it in my own way. But it's all towards the same target.
Right.
So
And seeing like when I talked to Trey,
yep,
the OC,
yes sir.
it's the same message that you just said. It's we. We're
Hmm.
one team, we're one franchise,
Hmm.
we're one community.
Hmm.
We all got to be on the same page.
Yes sir.
And again, that's where I'm going to go back to this Continental Football League. And this is what I love about this so much is that it's giving opportunities because there's so many opportunities where there's players out there who don't have that shot. Like last night I was talking to your DN Braylon or
Hmm.
Braden
Utley.
Utley.
Yep.
No, did you know he's not related to Chase Utley, the baseball player? Did you?
No, no, I didn't
He
know that.
he's not. We
You
established that
checked, you
he's
verified.
Yes, it's not no relation whatsoever. But again, it was him saying the same mentality that I'm hearing you're talking about.
Hmm.
It's the same mentality that he has.
Hmm.
Yeah, I had some ups and downs, but I took those bad and turned it into a good.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
what I love about it. It's giving the opportunities. So for a league like this, right?
Hmm.
What does it mean to you as a coach to coach at a professional level?
Hmm.
Because I mean, really, let's not get it twisted. That's what this league is. It's
It is.
going to be a
It is.
professional league.
And with that, right? Words matter, but you got to block out the noise too. There's so many people can say what they want, but what are you actually gonna do? And I say that because people have heard about leagues before that have started but didn't actually come into pass. And I just want to speak for players that want to play. They either want to get back into professional football, they either want to get back into football as a whole, they want to pursue professional football. Even coaches, especially coaches and staff members, you got to take the shot, and everything ain't gonna be microwave. Um, and it costs to be the boss. And in order for you to be the boss, you got to take shots and you got to take sacrifices. So I'm grateful for this league to be running and continuing to run because it's so easy to just make a logo, start making a Facebook page, and start making a social media page and what have you. But they're actually doing it. Our tryout was live stream. Like that was amazing. Like not only live stream where there's just a pretty little camera in the press box. No, you had you had the camera people with the microphones talking to the players, talking to the graders and the evaluators. Hey, what was the time? Oh, this person read a 4.4 or whatever the case.
Right. Yeah.
So that was number one, it makes memories for everybody that's
Hmm.
involved. And number two, that's just exciting. So it's really exciting. It motivates. It's a reminder when crap gets hard of, hey, okay, they are locked in. They are locked in. They're doing their efforts. They meaning the league, the Continental Football League. They meaning the ownerships. You have mini camps and training camps where teams come together and do it together, but they're not really talkative. And from what I experienced on Sunday, they, we're all competitors at the end of the day, but we're all unified as well. And we know how to separate that for the particular moment. So I'm excited about this league. I'm grateful for the opportunity for their responsiveness because that's another thing too, right? People have leagues, people have, hey, if you got any questions, contact such and such or message or DM this page. No, the response tempo is pretty darn quick. So um thanks to the league for that. Um for real.
Yeah.
Without going into too much detail.
Right.
Looking
No, I know
forward
you.
to it.
I know you can't. So it sounded
Yeah,
like you were getting ready to go. So I was going to cut you off and say, "Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's great."
yeah, yeah.
I mean, listen, I love Quincy. I mean, I got a relationship with Quincy. I talk to
Mhm,
him regularly. He's a very nice guy. Ned, I talk
mhm.
to Ned and stuff. Now I got to ask you something. You're kind of a younger guy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost 50. If
How
you
old
could
do you
tell,
think I am?
I think you're younger than me. As you can tell, I got my lights dim, so you can't see the white in this goatee
Oh man. Oh, I
that
thought
I.
it was just the color. I thought you just put beard coloring in.
All right, I'm calling the boss now. I'm calling the boss now. Uh, but
Oh,
in this day and age
mhm,
of social media, kids putting their film out on their tapes and stuff like that, right? I asked Trey this. It's like, look, you're that younger generation of the videos and stuff like that, right? You with having your company. By the way, what is the name of your training company that you have? Let's go there.
So it's champ mentality, believe it or not, it's champ mentality. Um the acronym is chosen hard work achieve, mentality, prepare. When coming up with that name, everybody's always called me Champ since high school. If I had a nickname, if people didn't address me as Champagne when I played or through the Army, then it was Champ. Sergeant Champagne or Sergeant Champ. Coach Champ, Coach Champagne. So I thought about it, hey, all right, I got champ mentality because I'm all about mentality and expectation. Now, let's do something catchy. We're gonna do hashtags or we're gonna do acronyms. What's the first letter you could think about for a C? Boom, I did that. What's the first letter that you think about for the H? So on and so forth. So the first word I thought about for that particular letter, that's what I took a shot with and did it. So on my apparel, lion with the crown, that's our logo with the champ mentality. I actually have a hoodie there, but I was gonna wear it, but nah, I have it there. And
No, I
then
like the futures East and West shirt that you got going, bro.
yeah,
I love
yeah,
that you're rocking the futures.
I
Stars,
do.
East and West.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah, yeah. So champ mentality is the name. That's their acronym I told you about. Lion is the actual lion with the crown is logo because I love lions. No, I'm not a Leo. Yes, I'm born in July, but the zodiac people said I'm a Cancer. It's just when I try to think about a what's an animal that describes you, boom, lion, right? Thought about the words that fit that particular letter in champ. And that acronym is actually on the back of all my clothing apparel as well. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I like that.
Yes,
Where
sir.
I got to get me some of that. Where do I get
You
that at?
do. Oh, you do. So
I gotta get that.
we got text
You
me your
got it in
sizes and
you got
stuff.
it in 2X's? Do you got it in 2X's?
Oh yeah, yes, sir. So with my merchandiser that makes my stuff, he's actually a coach in the area and he's in person, so it's not like I have to get it from a different country or whatever. You, I have a person that I see that I go to pick up orders, and then I ship it off, or he's helped me out and excuse me, and shipped it off as well. So red, black, white. That's our
Oh, look,
main colors for the
we
company.
better put the boss's he goes, "We can't all be Leos."
Ah, yeah,
I think
nah.
he's taking a shot at us. I'm a Virgo, so
Oh
you know.
man, yeah.
So
But I love my lions, man. I love my lions. They're just a leadership, um, being the example. That's what I think about as far as a lion. Um, People look to you, man, and you either gotta deliver or don't. You either gotta stick with your choices or live by the results of them, right? But don't dwell in it too long because everything is just a moment. So that was the thought process behind the lion, man. You gotta be chosen. So lions
I
are chosen.
I
It all
love
kind of blends a little bit.
I do. I absolutely love it. All right, back to the question, because you're training these young kids, right?
Yes, sir.
Your other coach, Coach Trey, he's in that younger generation.
Hmm.
Now you got me curious. How old are you? You can't be no. I'm 49.
I'm 33.
Okay, you're a baby. That's. I
Ah,
mean,
good. I'm still in my
I
prime though,
listen.
but yes, yes,
My
good.
oldest son is getting ready to turn 30.
Okay.
So yeah, to me, 33 is a baby, right? But
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
part
yeah.
of that generation.
Hmm.
With all of this stuff, the way videos are and stuff like that now, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, you guys are having these tryouts and all of that stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you going to utilize some of the stuff from the videos and stuff like that to like you may see maybe a guy can't make it to a tryout, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But you can go on the what is that there's that page, the Pro Scout thingamajigger page on
Hmm.
Facebook or whatever, Twitter, all that
Hmm.
stuff. But
Yes.
like, how important is that to this new generation of the way they do their tape and stuff? And how do you process that as a coach?
So, oh, I feel it's important, and even with the little kids in middle school and high school kids, I try to recommend to parents. It's cool to take pictures and all that. That's cute, but like the tape is the resume, or the tape is the evaluation, um, for the high school players and college players or what have you, when you're putting your film on there, put things that if it's an outstanding play, it needs to be within the first 1 to 2 plays.
Mm-hmm.
Even with players for this team, for this team with the Texas Syndicate, if you have a 6-minute film, that's cool, but I'm probably only going to watch 90 seconds to the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the film. Um, don't wait to put your great stuff at the end. Don't do it from worst to best. Um, Try to be versatile for a defensive lineman, for an interior defensive lineman. You want to see ball get off somewhere. You want to see combat hands. You don't want to just see bull rush. You want to see them not only shooting the gap, but making tackles in the backfield, quarterback hurries. I want my defensive lineman, my interior defensive lineman to make tackles for losses, right? Penetrate 1 to 2 yards, find some work, um, strength and quickness. You know, that's imperative. Your Twitter is your Twitter as a player is our LinkedIn as a professional in different industries. That's how I try to articulate it to parents and even teenagers.
Ooh, see, man, you just came up with a really good idea. There's got to be an app out there
Mhm,
where it's like sports athletes
mhm.
can have like their own LinkedIn thing.
Right. It should. It really should. Even with my social medias, man, I think almost going on 10 years now, maybe. Well, I've been coaching since 2019. When I was all Army, all my stuff was pretty Army related as far
Right.
as credentials, things like that. When I shifted to coaching, my bios and all that is all coaching related,
Mm-hmm.
performance training, whether that's through my job, D1 training gym, where I train at for my job, but also my Chan Mentality stuff with my business. And then, at times, sometimes I might do like motivation or speaking or something, those little reels. But you got to tailor your Twitter and your Instagram like we would for our LinkedIn as adults in any profession. That's what I tell them. You know, Bottom line up front, height, weight on there. And when you put your times on there, say if you I run a 4.3 and I bench press this, and here's my NCAA tag ID. Cool, right? Well, hey Bruce, well, and that's great. You have the eye test part that looks good from the bio, but you need to have some video that kind of shows it. And we're not talking about video that shows the stopwatch because coaches and evaluators can tell, okay, that is a 4.4. Or you know what? His arm mechanics. Or is his toe up? Is his toe down when he's striking the ground? Things of that nature. Even with the numbers for the bench pressing, like, okay, cool, he's doing that. Cool. If you got a bunch of videos
I
of you
can
just
count.
bench pressing,
Yeah, I can count how many 45-pound plates you have on there.
exactly.
That's not hard to do.
hmm hmm
All right, coach, I know that we don't have a lot of time. I know we got
Yes, sir.
about 8 minutes left, but
Okay.
so I'm going to have you on. Quincy, I know you're watching. So, Quincy, we're going to have Coach Champ back on
Yes, sir.
again. So, Quincy, just letting you know now. But should I ask you this or should I? You know what? I do want to ask you. Defensive guy. I asked Trey this. Third quarter comes, fourth quarter comes. You get the guy on the microphone. He says, "Welcome. Everything changes." Well, oh, look, now Quincy's passing the buck. Passing the buck. He goes, "You got his number. All right, we'll schedule it again."
Ah,
The
that's
continental
awesome.
shift is happening
It is.
as a defensive guy.
Mhm.
This is meant for the offense.
Sure. That's what society says. Yeah.
Ooh. Don't give me the whole plan, but have you been watching tape of the CFL to see how you're going to approach it? Or like,
Oh
what
yeah.
is your mentality? And do you think this could change American football and the way that we consume American football?
I think it just gives us more variety. I did worded research, on the league first, and I've got a good little battle rhythm on watching some CFL games. Shout out to YouTube especially for that. But not only just the games, right? For me, I like documentaries, or I like coaching documentaries, or player documentaries, or schematic documentaries. When I got into coaching American football, I thought about coaches that connect with my vibe. So I haven't gotten the coaches piece for the CFL quite yet on who I want to target, or reference, or just look at, but I do watch CFL games. I try to watch the Grey Cup. I'm going with the Grey Cup, and I try to do a game a week. That's kind of something good. I feel for me that's the best way to do it, because not and I don't even watch the whole game, right? You just watch something and target your eyes, and be repetitive with it. But I'm excited. I'm excited, especially as being a defensive side of the ball type of person, where we can still make things happen. You gotta. Everybody has rules and everyone has trends. We're not going to be arrogant or confident about it, but we're not going to be common. We're not going to be common in a common environment, if that makes sense. I don't
You're
know
just
if
gonna
that
take
answers the question.
lemons and turn it into lemonade.
Take some, right? You just gotta, hey, everything's a moment, right? You gotta just what do you want to target, right? And you go after that, and the rest of that, the chips will fall where they may, and don't be so hard on yourself if something is open for a moment, or for a play, or nah. What are your rules and principles? What are your target areas? And go towards that, and adapt towards those targets. Adapt towards that alignment. I don't want to give all the cookies, but
Well, I know that's why I
yeah,
said no. I'm just wanting to bring it because Trey says he goes, yeah, it favors me. It favors my
it does.
offense. He
It
goes,
does.
it's going to be harder for the defenses.
It is. It is. And it's and with this being team and unified, right, man? Field position, special teams is a difference factor as well. Um, that's another topic for another day as well.
That
But
yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's it'll be challenging on the defense. It's more opportunities for the offense to get more points, right? But with that, I feel, in my opinion, it's an opportunity for defenses to be a bend but not break type defense. Of course, you want shutouts. Of course, you want nobody to get anything. But you gotta stay in the moment, man, and you can't get caught up on something from 3 plays ago. Or if you stopped this particular thing that you targeted, can't get so butthurt because that over there was open. Hey, it's gonna be a great chess match with the sticks, man, with the down and distance, and I'm looking forward to that piece, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to not give up? And I feel, although see us, Continental League and those CFL rules are different, right? Something for me when I got into the 6-man game on a high school level, that was a chess match. That was a chess match. It's 6-on-6, and it's not arena. It's not arena where it's 8-on-8 and 50 yards. It's
Right.
6-on-6, 100 yards, right? Um, the field is not as wide, but that was a chess match within itself. The first person that catches the snap, he can't run.
Right.
But if he catches in 6-man, the first person that catches it, he hands it off. He can go off for a pass, or he can get the ball back and then he can run. So just being a master, just being a master on your particular rules, right? Just being a master on your particular target, and this target is uh, CFL type of rules in the fourth quarter. So it's a great chess match, just game planning in general, because man, it's freaking variety in one game. Like
Yeah,
you
it's
game, it
nuts.
is, it is. You game plan, and you stay in the fight. Hey, defense, you keep us in the game and all that good stuff. Offense, don't turn the football over. keep it close, or if it's a one possession game going into the fourth quarter or so, then guess what? You might be down, but if your defense does their part for that moment and hold them to a field goal or such, offense you get going, and then something might happen on special teams, right? Because the special teams can play into your team's advantage as well.
Yeah.
That people are not realizing. So it's more opportunity for the offense to stay on the field and win the time possession battle. It's more opportunity on the offense to gain points off of the defense's mistakes. Um, but it's also an opportunity to instill, create, or evolve a culture and a mentality that a locker room can get behind, a community can get behind, a league can get behind, a country can get behind. Like it's a mantra. It's like my it's like some players say that aura. So and aura isn't perfect. It's not. It's just what are your values, man, and what's and you gotta stick to it. You gotta stick to it. You gotta go kill the target. And
See,
when you can't kill the target, how are you gonna respond when the world tells you no? One moment
right.
at a time.
See, I love that. All right, coach. I know that this was kind of put on last minute, right?
Yeah,
This interview, and I was like,
but
you're
it
like,
was
well, I
fun
have a
though.
I mean, that's what we try to make it. That's what we
Hey,
try to make it.
it
It's
was
it's it's
fun. It was
about getting to know
informative. It
you.
was good.
I don't even think we even scratched the surface yet, because
Nah.
when I interviewed Trey, we did that on a Sunday morning at like 10 o'clock. So we did it from like 10 to noon
Mm-hmm.
before we went and watched football. But again, I know this was like a last minute thing. I know that Quincy had the press release coming out, so we wanted to get you on to get people to know who you are. But we definitely want to have you on again
Yes, sir.
for sure. Before I let you go, tell people where they can find you on your social medias and stuff and all of that good stuff.
Yes, sir. So Facebook, James Champagne. My business on Facebook, Champ Mentality. On Instagram, it is underscore Coach Champagne. Champagne, like the drink, is no is no weird spelling. Underscore Coach Champagne for Instagram. For Twitter, it is Coach underscore Champagne. And then also on LinkedIn, I'm at James Champagne or Coach James Champagne. But all the profile pictures are the same. And then I'm on TikTok as well as Coach James Champagne. So if you type in Coach Champagne on any of the social medias or James Champagne on the social medias, you will find me. I'm based out of San Antonio, and yeah, so I have all the social medias. So
Yeah,
pretty
and you only
active on
got
it.
what, like an hour and a half drive up to Austin.
Hey, it costs to be the boss. Sometimes you gotta make sacrifices. For UCLA, right? I know we gotta go, but I had to drive up there for that. I drove 22 hours to do that for the
Whew,
whole summer. And then Alabama, I drove 17 hours to
whew.
go up there, coach. So it's moments suck, but you gotta go after the
But
target
what's
that you
going to
say
be
that you
better,
want.
an hour and a half or
That,
17 or 22?
yep, exactly, right? Pros and cons, right? So, without those long travels, I wouldn't be in this position to have a shorter commute. So I am forever grateful for that.
There
But
you
more
go.
work to be done though.
Yeah. All right, coach. Thank you for joining me tonight. When we have Arlington on, you got to make sure you give Arlington some trouble.
Yes, sir, I
Make,
will. Oh, I'm
make,
looking forward to it.
make sure you give Arlington some trouble. He was being uncle tonight, taking care of his
Hey.
little nieces. I think he
Oh
was
my
just
God.
I think he was just intimidated by you. That's all. That's my
Nah,
opinion.
nah, 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 nah. It's probably an observer like me, doesn't say much at first. I observe from a distance and then
Well, can you figure out on this show who the loudmouth is? Even without even meeting
uh,
Arlington, can you figure out which one of us is the loudmouth? It's okay. You ain't gonna hurt my
yeah,
feelings. Yeah, I'm the
yeah,
loudmouth of this
yeah.
show. All right,
Yes, sir.
coach. We got to get you back on.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna say it right now because we're still a few months away from the season. Uh I there's something about this coaching staff that I really like,
Mhm.
from what I'm hearing. Now, you guys got to put it all together on the field.
Right.
But we're going to talk more about that as the season gets closer.
Yes, sir.
Coach, thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. And we're going to have you back very, very soon. Anything else you want to say to anybody out there? Like our buddy at the beginning of the hour that told me to shut the you know what up.
Oh God, nah, we'll save it. Just on behalf of the Texas Syndicate and Continental Football League, I appreciate this opportunity. Looking forward to representing the Austin area. Um, it takes everybody to do this, but it also takes a lot of people to get me to this moment, right? So shout out to those coaches, my wife, my son, um, just a lot of people. But that's another story for another day. But I will say the last thing: this is all great, but hey, it's more work to be done. So job not finished. Don't get
I know.
comfortable.
I'm getting goosebumps. I can't wait.
Yes,
I
sir.
can't wait for it. This is the X-Fan Show. I am Spurge. Right there is Coach Champagne of the Texas Syndicate. Should be fun. If you guys don't know what the Texas Syndicate is or the Continental Football League is, guys, we've posted it all over our page. Go look it up. Don't be lazy, right,
Yep.
Coach? Don't be lazy bums.
Don't be lazy.
Right.
Oh.
Coach, you might have to get me on a diet plan.
Come on. Come see me. Come see me. Come
That's a
move
long
around.
drive,
Let's get them
Coach.
joints moving. Hey.
It's a long
Hey,
drive.
it costs to be the boss.
It's
Gotta make
true.
those
My barrel's
sacrifices.
starting to get big again. It's starting to
Yes,
get
sir.
big. The wife might like it if I would slim down a little, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, you're welcome in advance. You're welcome in advance.
There you go. This is the X-Fan Show. I will see you guys soon. Coach, thank you. And you have a great evening.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
Oh, here we go. I got to play my